I hope it's not the last time overall. I mean, that's pretty grooming. But yes, Game 3, ladies and gentlemen, and it is Mirage, which ordinarily we would say Virtus.Pro will take with ease. But that wasn't the case last week at Copenhagen Games, was it?
I think at this point, just take a coin, flip it, and that's like the odds right now between these two teams.
The funny thing is, like the other teams, we just literally had Titan coming up to us, like,
yeah.
What just happened? I was asleep. I should be playing right now.
That was the thing, right?
Why am I not on stage?
He had his he still had his coat over him like this. He just walks out into the sunlight. He's like, "Aren't I supposed to play now?" I'm like, no, bro, go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. And 3D Hacks are sitting out there too, just looking at me like, we're supposed to, are we going to play anytime soon? I mean, these guys, they have a talent for drawing it out. They have a talent for going 30 rounds or going 3 maps. Like, that is the story between TSM and VP. You're always just going to get this long, drawn-out battle between both of these teams. But we're happy with that because it means more exciting rounds. There's just so many huge rounds.
Well, already, we've had 2 best-of-3s go the distance. Absolutely. So, in case you missed it, Navi actually lost to Dignitas on the second stream. That was this morning. There's obviously another match coming there. That's going to be Envy versus Copenhagen Games. That's going to be starting shortly over on the second stream, of course, here on the main stream. It is Virtus.Pro TSM. Following this one, it will be Titan 3D Max whenever this one finishes.
Exactly, right, whenever this one finishes. And we might as well just say maximum time here allotted, double overtime. There we go. That's what's going to happen.
So what do we take on this one? What is your take? Obviously, after last week's performance, TSM somewhat, I wouldn't say surprising, I would say more for TSM, since obviously they made the change with Carrigan. Probably, 2-3 months ago now? 3 months now, I think it is. It was back in February. Yeah. So we're into the 3rd month. And overall, obviously, as they made the change, TSM used to be known for that amazing defensive team. Or back when they were Team Dignitas, more importantly, I should say. That wasn't the case. Obviously, it was something they worked on. They'd like, okay, defense is fine. We're solid in that. They're going to work on our attack. How do you feel that difference has now been 3 months in?
I think we've already seen the improvement, the net improvement in their T side. They're able to pick up more rounds now thanks to Carrigan's aggressive attitude, essentially. It's not, the wait around and we're going to keep repeatedly doing the same thing round after round. There is a little bit more variety to it. And also, Carrigan is one of those players who seems to just lead by example in a sense, because he's the first one onto the site. He's the first one. He doesn't care about the stats. He just runs in and gets the info for his team. And if he's lucky, he gets a couple headshots out of it. And we've seen him do that repeatedly in pistol rounds. That's always the round that I choose to watch Carrigan closely on, because he seems to be one of those players that just excels at pistols. But the fact of the matter is, there's still a lot of work to be done on TSM. Carrigan, they've had 3 months, but there's still clearly a lot of work to be done, because when it comes down to crunch time, when he needs to be able to just grind out these rounds and make the right call at all times, we still see TSM struggling. Hence, these 30-round maps, these things that get drawn out where opportunity after opportunity is given up. The same could be said for VP, however. So these really are like the 2 teams that are just really good sometimes at throwing away advantages.
Okay, so here we go. It was Virtus.Pro that came out on top with the knife round, which does give them that effectively a big advantage of the CT side half. Does mean they're going to start things off. Taz came peeking up A ramp there. Got caught off straight away. I never know what to make of these 3-2 splits when they go, especially in the pistol round. Snacks catching out Cadian mid-air there. Off from the van. He will get taken down by Zipnix. Neo over on short, trying to cover this one off, but already bomb plant not quite coming in because Pasha slows things down. And the rotation is quick from Virtus.Pro. That's because they did the damage over in the A side early on. Zipnix takes down Neo. They're quickly getting him down. Bomb plant in, more importantly for TSM. But they are in a desperate situation. Cajun B, the last man standing, will get one down, won't get the second. Taz will come in. That's going to be the defuse. And Virtus.Pro take that all-important pistol round.
And not a thing goes TSM's way apart from that bomb plant. Carrigan comes out. They go for the distraction, essentially. They're trying to fake A with the smokes and the flashes. Carrigan pushing from A ramp. He's trying to get in there and see what he can do, but he just falls immediately to Taz without even doing any damage to Taz. Then you have the lurker who's waiting on that site, catches Dupree coming out of apartment, so Dupree isn't able to get anything done. Snacks catches a man midair coming out onto B site. Like, one after another, everything went wrong for TSM. At least they got a bomb plant out of it. Like, at least they managed that much, because for a second I was thinking it was going to be just the perfect round for VP. Sure, they lost a couple of players, but that was just very much under control for VP.
Well, they haven't gone for an invest on the second round. They are going to choose to stick it out. Just with 2 250s in there and a couple of 5-7s. And of course, they are running into FAMAS's. And then more importantly, an M4 for Taz as he spins and gets Dupree down in underpass. That's going to be Bialy on Cadian. And now Carrigan, last man standing as he comes leaping out of Palace and will get taken down midair once again. So clean round for Virtus.Pro. That's exactly what they need, exactly what they wanted. And it gives them a good start to their bank on the CT side.
Yeah, nothing too creative coming out there from TSM, really. Just kind of going for a split on mid, getting control of mid very, very briefly with 1 kill, and then kind of just getting shut down from there. But this is the round that they were thinking of. You know, after that bomb plant, them not investing in that last round means rifles in this round. So this is now going to be the big play, and it seems like it will be a smoke play coming out here from TSM. 2 guys in apartments, 3 at ramp, 2 at ramp, and 1 in mid. And they are just basically going to be patiently waiting it out to see if they can't catch somebody off guard here. Taz again holding up close, but he will not get punished for it.
Get smoked down. There's the flash. Oh, just as KGB was looking to come up, the double flash goes in. Taz, ooh, has he taken his eye off ramp? Because that may well be key moment as TSM are stacking to go there. Taz is actually checking connector because he knows there's one that's going Delpan. It is Carrigan that snuck his way in there, so they're pretty certain it's going to be an A push. Pasha, that molly is going to land square at the feet. Cadian comes out, was flashed out quickly. Carrigan, though, does manage to get one down at connector before he drops, but Dupree suddenly finds himself all alone on the A site. And that was a very solid defensive round from Virtus.Pro. They knew exactly what was happening. They read it like a book. TSM just got cut down.
They got completely shut down without even using any of their gear, really. Like, people kept getting killed, and they had smokes, they had flashes, they had nades, and none of them were used practically. I think 1 nade went down on CT to block it off with the smoke, and that was it. But then that leaves connector wide open, and you see the impact that has. When you have 2 guys coming out of balcony, they get stuck, or rather out of Palace, they get onto balcony, and then they get stuck there because this man is just hammering them with an M4.
Well, that grenade.
Yeah, money nade.
Boom, straight on them. Oh, look at that. Cajun almost taken down straight away. They push around, Van gets one. Snaxer's going to back away. That molly's going to do the work. The AK will do the rest. And Neo quickly guns them down. TSM pretty much cut down before they even started.
Yeah, not a whole lot of hope for them in this round. Sipnik's all by his lonesome in mid. He's going to get spotted out by Bialy. Takes that fight. Does actually some pretty decent damage there to Bialy, but not able to pick up the kill. So VP continued to just chug along, and this is where the money starts to get very scary here. This 5th round is going to be incredibly important for TSM. Even if they lose it, they need to turn it into a 1v1 situation. They need to make Virtus.Pro spend money in the next round. Otherwise, it's going to be so difficult to deal with it if you go back to an eco and VP are just able to farm up and get that bank.
Yeah, they've only got 5 frags so far in 4 rounds, which is certainly not ideal for TSM. Bialy, fairly aggressive, taking a peek up mid there, gets double flashed out there. Snack's expecting someone through underpass, not going to work out. And actually TSM on the re-rotate here. You can see Dupree and Carrigan making their way back towards a ramp. Pasha, though, continuing to push. This is all the information gathering now as he knows the mid is completely clear, which means TSM are effectively cut in half. 2 members over here at the A ramp, and that's probably why we're starting to see, I think it was Taz that was actually starting to push forward. Yeah, it's starting to get a little information from A ramp. Pasha is going to get right around the back of Dupree here. There's the smokes going out, but this is just... He's waited for... I thought he'd waited a little too long on that one, but Taz did get taken out, but now they know that Neo is going to get very busy, and he manages to take down one. Cadian pushes through, and this is going to be TSM on site.
And Pasha's very quickly into B apartments. They have to be aware of this, and TSM are constantly going to have this thought in the back of their head. There's a man flanking us right now. Cadian standing out in the open. This is going to be perfect. Pasha takes out Sipnix, and Cadian about to get just squeezed onto that site. Now it's Carrigan for the counter flank, and they haven't heard the steps. They haven't heard the steps. They have no idea. He's going to get in, and he denies the bomb plant. This is all about it right here for Carrigan. That 1v1 scenario, and Pasha just looks to take the fight, and he wins it. He's got the kid. He's got plenty of time. Pasha, the hero of that round.
Well, that was a play and counterplay from Virtus.Pro and TSM there. Virtus.Pro, though, doing a great job of cutting TSM in half. You can tell this is very much the home map, very much comfortable on exactly what they're doing. But Pasha stepping up. 9 frags already, more than the entire TSM team all added together. It's been a very good start for Virtus.Pro, no doubt about it. 5-0, and this is something we were talking about just outside before, during the break, is the fact that this could easily be 12-3 both sides.
Yes, very, very easily, certainly considering rounds like that, but also just the fact that TSM cannot seem to close on clutch situations right now. Towards the end of the second half on over...
Is the choke happening?
On cash, you know, going in here, you know, they need to close these kinds of rounds down. They cannot allow VP to win out there. But they do get the entry frag here with a good patient play at the top of mid. So they caught out Pasha, who was just trying to make the same thing happen over again, trying to push mid aggressively. He gets slapped this time. And so now TSM, they have that man advantage.
Well, Neo just got a peek. He's just got full vision of mid, so he knows there's nobody there. However, if he starts going forward again, another money nade. This time not going to do quite as much damage because KGB does have that head armor on, but that Snacks with his incendiary will be on point. That should slow things down. It will absolutely cut the attack dead in its tracks, and they all go straight under underpass here. Cadian rushing through, heavy footsteps. They know they're going to be coming. Neo will have heard that. The information goes across. Taz gets going, but he doesn't manage to land anything through connector, and they're piling straight into A site.
Yeah, Bialy in position, but he gives it away. He's still going to be able to pick up a kill. He gets 2. He could get 3, but he's going to get overwhelmed in the end. So close from him. And with 20 seconds left, that bomb is now planted. It's down to Snacks. And here again, a clutch situation. Can he work his way through this crossfire? Because Cajun B and Dupree now, they've got the perfect setup to deal with this.
Snacks from jungle. Gonna go. He's not exactly going quietly, let's put it that way. He's one footsteps in there. Dupree knew exactly what was happening. And they get their first round on the board. And that was a good adjustment from TSM because that attack was stopped at the B apartments. And they quickly changed their direction straight through underpass and rushed in. And maybe that's what they need to do to catch Virtus.Pro off guard.
Yeah, very quick play, quick thinking by Kerrigan. And there it is, you know, him stepping up and making those snap decisions. That's what needs to happen there for him to actually win in these scenarios with his team. And now we have TSM going for some tried and true. This is you know, just something that works for them. They've got that smoke round. They're going to just make it work. And already
they're pushing through the smoke.
Yeah, Bialy is here. He's holding up close. He gets flashed, but he still gets a double kill out of that. Unforgivable. He's going to get a triple. Bialy the quad. Yes, sir. And now it's down to the last man alive, and he's going to hunt for him. Bialy the ace. And there you have it. Worst case scenario for TSM. It looked so good. There was just one man standing in their way, but this time Bialy was up to the task.
You've just got to wonder sometimes when you go for those set smokes, you know, you smoke enough CT, smoke enough Arch, kickbeing everything away, but when you just rush through and there's a man with an M4 ready and waiting for you, and more importantly, the pistol switch, and then the AK switch, and then he gets himself another double.
Incredible, just incredible. What a round. That's going to shatter you if you're TSM.
Oh.
Your mind is gone.
And they're just running headlong into the rifles right now. This is an easy pickup. They do manage to get one out of it, but that's all. And now 7-1 for Virtus.Pro as they get themselves their confidence gathering after, honestly, what was a bone-shattering start for them on Overpass. They were so far behind, but they clawed their way back. They did lose out in the end. I think it was 16-11 overall, but on Cash, a map that they effectively should have lost. TSM should have taken it, but it wasn't to be, and TSM clawed their way back in once again. But now, 7-1 up, their confidence must be oozing out of the polls.
Yeah, no, they've got this under control now at this point. It's TSM, and you can see they look very nervous on TSM's side right now. Katie in there, I mean, in the foreground. But everybody not moving much. Not much hype, but they're going for a pretty standard bread and butter play here, just closing in 2 at top mid, 2 through underpass, and they do manage to overwhelm Taz, turning that into a 1-for-1 trade. So that's just fine as far as TSM are concerned. Now, where do they take it from here? It's looking like they've had luck on B site. They got annihilated on A site, so they want to start heading back towards that round voluptuous letter.
Trying to make their way through. Cadian, they went underpass. Tried to creep back around Carrigan. That's going to get spotted out. Pasha saw that flash flicking past his head and jumped straight out. Countered the play. Snacks, though, is moving in the exact right direction as the 3 members of TSM stack up. And oh, he caught a glimpse. That's exactly all he needed. Backs away. All the information gathered. Everybody from Virtus.Pro already moving into position.
And look at how he's playing this. It's so good. They've totally forgotten about him. He's going to get that kill for free. TSM, there's a man on the site. You haven't cleared it out. Snacks gets a double kill. And it's now down to Sipnik's 1v4, 1v3. I mean, just not going to happen at all whatsoever. But what a masterful play from Snacks. Just brilliant. Gets behind that bench and keeps quiet because he knows all I have to do is stay alive. The rotation is already coming through. And if I can get something out of it, great. What does he do, though? He gets the inch, he takes the mile, right?
And he didn't even peek. He just stayed down for a little while, just bought his time. He knew that the rest of his team were coming. Bought all the information they needed. Virtus.Pro 8-1 up and looking strong. It's another pistol for TSM. This time, ironically, they're not going to push through the smoke. Who would have thought it? There's no Bialy waiting for you this time, though, boys. Taz is there on stairs. Should be able to get the information the moment they come through. Did know that was Summoning passes already. There's you're going to see one. There's the bomb actually picked up and play. The rotation will come out. Virtus.Pro, they're on cleanup duty.
And Bialy's just like, hey man, I need some more frags. Hey, you know, Pasha, back off, bro. This is mine. There. Oh wow, Pasha. He's gonna get a talking to after this. 3 kills is not enough for Bialy. What is he up to now? 14, right? Okay. It's looking real good for Bialy. It's looking real good for Virtus.Pro. And what is the change up here coming in from TSM? That's what's really wild. They're not showing any fear, TSM. They're willing to go for the double op on T side. That's just crazy. This is so much money that's being invested here. Cajun.B going glass cannon as well.
I think they just want something right now, but Pasha, he's going to get flashed out. They should get him down. It will be Carrigan. We'll get the frag. Cadian smoked off. He's got support, though. So if anyone were to push up, he's going to get a peek. It's a shoulder. That's all he needs when Carrigan gets taken down. Bialy this time switching his defensive position, keeping them guessing. Will possibly catch them out. Snacks is going to get that molly straight on towards Delpan. Guns down Dupree while the rest of the team try to get in position here. Cajun.B smoked off, and finally, that second AWP coming into play.
And Cajun.B picking up 2 kills. I mean, Cajun, Neo getting overwhelmed. That timing working out perfectly for Cajun. He actually gets that kill with the Glock as well. So neither one working out there as far as Neo is concerned. Bialy is now the last man alive here, and he's alone on this A site. There's plenty of time for TSM to rotate over to the B site with that bomb, and they're going to do just that now that they know where Bialy is. Cajun misses that shot, but doesn't even matter, really. It's just the information that counts. Now they know where Bialy's coming from.
Yeah, the fast rotate. Xyp9x was well away from this one. He's going to get the bomb plant down before Bialy gets in there as he works his way in towards Kitchen. But look at this, Cadian with his gun trained on Kitchen. The second he peeks around towards that window. Oh, he's backed away just at the right time. He does manage to catch him through. Bialy did get Xyp9x down, so Cadian, it's all about timing sometimes. He just looked away for that split second, but that's the second round for TSM. It was a big investment with a double AWP, but it paid off. Yeah,
it did. It paid off in spades. I mean, I don't believe Cajun got the kill at the end. I think he did. Well, regardless, irrelevant. Cadian got the kills. He got the damage in. So they're making it count. And what do Virtus.Pro do? They come right back at him. Double up on them. So now things get wild. Who's going to be holding which angle? Snacks, of course, he's going to be holding that long, powerful angle in the apartments, but Pasha takes it out mid, misses that shot, hits the follow-up nade. Cadian is gone. Touchdown from Pasha. Perfect.
Well worked. Carrigan also pushing through underpass. Does manage to get Taz down. Caught a glimpse of a second there as well. Neo just off of the side, but Carrigan... Oh! Well. Wow, Neo. Didn't expect Neo to tag that head. Cajun.B, did he catch a glimpse of the rifle? Doesn't matter, because Dupree is coming around behind. Not again, Pasha. So many times on Mirage we see this. But, he didn't quite land the shot. Wasn't able to get it, but he will manage to land the molly. But Cajun.B, up close and personal on Pasha, does get him down. Now we're into a 2-on-2. Bomb plant still not down because Cajun.B had dropped it down at A ramp, and that's given Virtus.Pro chance to get back in. Neo has support. Snacks scoping through his legs. Now they move back onto site. 2-on-2. Cajun.B should find this shot. He does. Got pretty heavily tagged for it, but still, no bomb plant down. 30 seconds. This is a big rotate from Cajun.B.
Are you real right now? They are rotating out.
Oh, he's counted. He's counted.
Yeah, I mean, 20 seconds. There's no way. But he's now going to be exiting out of the worst possible position. Snacks, he could be watching towards Palace right now. This angle could work. Cajun, he just needs to drop. He needs to drop like a rock onto this site, not show himself. And there you go. Plants immediately. Snacks spotted it, though. Is he going to be able to deny it? Not in time, but he gets the kill, and that's what's important. 1v1 scenario now. Swaps out for the AK, and he's got plenty of gear to make use of here. He's got some smokes to play around with. He's going to pick up the second one. Just try and block off the likely spots, the likely hiding spots that Xyp9x could be in.
Oh, I wasn't sure whether he could tuck away there, but well played by Xyp9x. Played it cool, waited for that bomb defuse sound, and TSM get themselves another important round. These are starting to become big ones because Virtus.Pro had started to gather some serious momentum, but now TSM, 2 rounds back-to-back, back in this game. Can they keep it going? Xyp9x is going to line up. The smoke will cover off. Doesn't matter. Cajun.B already opens up the his account. Neo goes down in the mid.
Really nice timing there by Cajun as well to actually catch out Neo. And again, TSM going for that split onto mid. They're going to go in from underpass, sit at top mid. They get the information, and they know now, probably after spotting Neo, that this is probably potentially an eco round. They only saw a pistol there. So this might help them out here as far as TSM are concerned. They have to be careful about the aggressive push coming in from Snacks. I like the fact that Snacks is taking more of an aggressive stance in B apartments. This is what needs to happen here for VP when they are a man down.
Yeah, Yes, because Pasha's peeking. If he can land it, Snacks will absolutely pop out and get himself the clean frags. But Pasha's backed away at just the wrong moment. Going to cover off short. They don't really have any information come from mid. And actually, look at this. They've got Carrigan, who's come through kitchen all the way through. Someone is coming up behind them, but they're going to get caught off. This is going to be a quick crossfire.
He doesn't spot out Snacks either. They have no idea that Snacks is lurking up close. They're going to take out Pasha, and that's it. They're going to run right by, and he gets the first headshot. Not going to get any more, but that was a thing of beauty. That element of surprise. Great reaction, though, by TSM to be able to turn in time and not let him get more. That was way too dangerous a situation. Bialy gets spotted coming through on B apartments. He's not going to be able to get anything done this round. And Dupree will find him in the end. So TSM, they are battling back. You almost wrote them off with how easily VP looked to be, closing out the rounds. There were a couple of close situations here and there, but TSM, they looked rocked after that ace from Bialy. Seems like they were able to just come back into it, get their heads back in the game.
Well, it's going to be Pasha and Cajun B with the AWPs. Virtus.Pro brought back up in this round. Cadian, though, taking a peek. Cajun B's won out that battle in that mid last couple of rounds, and this time it looks like Virtus.Pro are not going to go for the peak, so they've got zero information coming from mid right now.
Absolutely nothing, in fact. I mean, they're playing as passively as you can get, practically. Apart from this crossfire here, but Pasha's holding towards Palace. He's expecting the peak to come through from there. Neo, instead, is going to collapse, try and change up the angle. He could catch this counter boost, but that smoke goes down. And Kerrigan now, once again, trying to infiltrate, but Pasha is there. We'll slap him down, and that's going to be it. Man advantage now for Virtus.Pro, holding solid on this site. Now they don't need to do anything. Now VP can literally play the clock. They don't need to push anywhere.
The rotate coming out. The bomb making its way towards A site. It's just going to be ramp where they push through. Cajun B is going to see Pasha.
What?
Well, I managed to land it, but didn't get the kill. Bit of a wall clip there. Instead, it's going to be TSM that do try and push up. Dupree will get taken down by Taz. That grenade will find its target. Actually, just flished Pasha's head. Does enough damage. Bialy taken down, and TSM have got themselves an A-site move. Pasha is still alive and still manages to get the bomb planter down. Now Virtus.Pro moving defense. Neo comes around the side. We're going to switch across to my screen because I can see what's happening. And Virtus.Pro do pick up the round. It's 10-4. And at the crucial moment, the computer decides to rewind.
What is happening?
I don't know what happened. But nonetheless, Virtus.Pro, that was a round they absolutely needed. And now TSM, all they can hope for is a 10-5. They have to try and pick up this round. They've got enough to rebuy, but Cadian can only afford a Tech 9.
Yeah, and he's doing that because he wants the nades. They need at least a couple of people working with nades here, TSM, to set something up. But again, they're going to try and take the push. They're actually holding fairly, like everybody going 5 points right now, basically. TSM, they've just spread out across the map, looking for Virtus.Pro to get aggressive, looking for Virtus.Pro to get greedy. Molotov straight onto Taz, but he stands his ground. In fact, he pushes forward. He's looking to apply the pressure. He wants to take this fight. He's got support from mid as well on short, and he's just lost out to Pasha. But there you go. Taz, wild spray, picks up the first, knows there's a second man here, and he's on the hunt. Who's going to win the duel? It's not going to be Taz. He's down to 16 HP.
Oh, he tries to back away, tried to go for the molly, didn't work out for him. Neo is going to find one an underpass, though. He shouldn't. Really, I think they just thought mid was clear. They didn't expect Neo up there. Pasha, by the way, ran back through a molly completely, all the way through the molly, which is what drew him down to 5 health. But he managed to survive. That's more importantly, and we saw how big, or more to the point, you didn't see how big that was in the last round. Bialy, though, boosted. He's got Pasha with him, and they're holding. They know this is going to be an A play, and it has to be a delicate A play from TSM. Cajun B has to land these frags.
And they know because Neo's pushed all the way up into the apartments right now, so Neo has all the information. They should even be rotating a third man over. Like, they should just put 3 guys solid on this A site right now. They're maybe worried about it, some kind of like sneak through on Link, which is why they're holding in kitchen that passively. VP, that is. But yeah, Neo coming back now. This should be all the info, but Cajun is still going to win out versus Pasha. Now he gets the second kill onto Bialy, and they get the bomb plant in the red. 2-on-2 scenario. Now Snacks quick rotation, but Cajun's unstoppable. He's got 3 kills, and now do they figure it out? Do they know that they're getting flanked by Neo, who's going to be coming out from T-Pit, and Cajun is backing right into him. Neo's going to get the free kill, so Cajun's streak is over, but now it's down to Dupree versus Neo, 1v1, and Dupree doesn't do anything! Neo, what a headshot! And just like that, they've got it. Virtus.Pro will have the 11th round.
Wow. Okay, 11-4. We talked about 12-3. 11-4 is absolutely a very good CT side.
It's like Cajun with 3, and then Neo comes back. He's like, hold on, I can do that too.
I got this, yeah. Just comes straight through. And with Cajun B, certainly with the way TSM took the site, you just assumed that was theirs for the taking, but Cajun B just didn't look. He just backed up, back it up, straight into Neo.
What can you do? Man, that's, again, just nothing going for TSM's way. They had that short stint where they started to show some fight, and then unfortunately that last round just didn't do it. So VP now have a pretty solid advantage going into the second half now. We get to see what they're going to bring to us in the pistol. And well, it's a bit of a healthy mix actually. Both teams upgrading their pistols, favoring nades over Kevlar.
Well, they're going to have a big pistol here. TSM, they got to come out on top here. If you remember back to the first pistol, well, it was Virtus.Pro that just about managed to get that retake down. You see...
What is the smoke that Neo is setting up for right now? This is wild.
Okay, I'm going to spin across to him. I want to see him myself. There we go. Bialy actually throwing out the smoke. It is going to be an A play. But it's not, it's a fake, because look at the bomb. It's making its way into B, but Zipnix is there. Can he manage to gun them down? He gets one, doesn't quite get the second, but he's very low on health, and Carrigan's there in support. Gets a good tag down on Taz. Taz trying to make his way through, but now the bomb is on a full rotate once again. It's going through underpass. This is TSM trying to adapt once again, and Virtus.Pro very much trying to keep them busy. That is going to work from Dupree. That's going to smoke off his cross, and he knows they're coming up connector.
Cue the Benny Hill music. This is it. Dupree, he manages to do the damage. They're all so low on Virtus.Pro's side. Dupree gonna get stepped on. Kerrigan and Cajun picking up the kills, and Cajun, he's now got control of short as well. He's got control of connector. Snacks is stuck between a rock and a hard place. 3 people about to close in on him, and with 30 seconds left, this is so little time for him to act, to try and play with the mind games. Instead, he's gonna go for a peekaboo peek, perhaps. Is he going to be able to get it on short? No, they're falling back.
Timing.
TSM realize all they have to do is play the clock and hold on to the sites.
Yeah, so that's going to be B side covered off. Snacks is going to come around, but there's one staring right at him. It is Dupree. It's going to be an easy head. And that was a big round for TSM. It's one they needed, but one they played really well.
Yeah, just everywhere, just the shift, the counter shift. I mean, everybody landing shots. I mean, in particular on that B site, Zipnix, even if he only got a 1-for-1, he did tremendous damage to Taz as well, made Kerrigan's job easier. I mean, that is just one thing after another lining up for TSM, and now we've got them actually winning a pistol round here. So they've got the gear going into this. Pasha Hauer with that scout does take the fight mid, but he's not going to land the tag on Kerrigan, who falls back. So things even out here. Now they know, at least TSM, that VP have invested somewhat in this round.
So just that scout, that's all they've got, and that's all maybe they need. Pasha looking for heads. He's got one just around, he's on the stairs, but doesn't show himself. Peeks the second time. Neo caught a glimpse of him this time. Now Pasha tries to go for the peek, but Carrigan gets the better of him. Cajun B comes straight around on top. Carrigan not going to peek too heavily on mid. Bialy wants to find a head. He's got the deagle. It's possible. No, pre-fired too early. Doesn't manage to get it, and Carrigan gets an easy second.
Now they've got the positioning as well. Kerrigan actually just goes for the USP. He's going to get traded 1-for-1 there. Dupree or Cadian, both of them had SMGs, so it's fine. Either one getting the kill there. That's bonus money regardless. So they'll be pleased about that outcome. But it just means that VP are now stuck in, yet another round of eco. No bomb plant rather in the pistol, no bomb plant in the second round. Just more pistols for them and more opportunities for TSM to farm up with these SMGs. The UMP and the MP7, you want to put those guys in positions where if it is a rush, they're going to be able to do maximum damage and build maximum money.
Okay, Carrigan sticking with the 5-7 actually as well, because he was the one that got taken down. Everybody obviously gifted him a gun. No reason to. Perfectly fine on this round. That's going to flash off and cover himself off. Does manage to get back away in connector, but all the information gathered, they know that there was 3 members coming up underpass, a couple coming through mid. That's going to be Cajun B cutting one off. Can he get the second? Oh, I think he got the Neo while aiming at Pasha there. They lined up for him, and now Taz all alone with the bomb as he tries to creep on through. Won't manage to get Dupree down, and another clean round for TSM. 11-7 the score now, as they do start to pick up some good rounds. 3 rounds after that pistol. It's what they needed to get back into this one.
It's like, you can't touch this, you can't touch this, you can't catch me, you can't catch me, bro. And Queso's like, enough of that, slap. All right. But here we go, the 19th round, the big round here, the one that VP have been saving for. They've got the guns now, they've got the rifles. They do decide to take their time somewhat, actually, waiting out the nades at top mid, pacing themselves well. But look at the counter strat coming out from TSM. TSM really expected some all-out aggression. They've got 3 guys presently holding solid on the site, expecting a smoke round actually with the position, but then Kerrigan just finds the gap and takes Pasha out in mid. That's a huge frag.
So frustrating when you think that window is fully smoked, and it's just that little crack that he manages to get the orb shot through, get the little peek on. Now, TSM find themselves 1 man up as Virtus.Pro try and probe a couple of angles here. They've got a good push on short, and they're going to make their way through, but Snacks doesn't manage to get his position covered off. Thought Cajun B was get caught out by surprise. Wasn't the case as Virtus.Pro pushing on B site.
Rotation is here, however. There's 3 guys here solid on this site now. Kerrigan not going to hit that flick shot, but then that opens it up for Cajun to come in, get a kill of his own. They're controlling the bomb, and that's what's important. Again, the trade kills, but it goes TSM's way. They've got the man advantage now, and Neo, he's just going to stick it. He has to get this bomb plant, and they are not going to allow it. No bonus money this time around for VP. Very well played there by TSM.
Solid play. Virtus.Pro thought they'd managed to get in there once they finally got wrestled a little bit of mid-control, but wasn't to be. And now 11-8 for Virtus.Pro, but TSM are on the comeback trail. 4 rounds back-to-back here, but we saw Virtus.Pro do the same. I think it was 8 rounds without reply in the first half. Carrigan with the AWP, and it is just pistols for Virtus.Pro, so don't expect too much from this one. Unless they can pull off some surprises. Snack's the only one with the CZ. You can see him hiding in Palace. He's going to get smoked off, so no early push for them.
He might actually go for some kind of like Adrian play here. If he decides to push through that smoke, that'd be very interesting. But the team, his teammates are setting it up. Double smoke to block off connector, 1 onto CT. About as standard as it gets. Kerrigan trying to take the aggressive fight, catch them as they run out of pit. But Virtus.Pro are staggering this. They're really just playing out with the nades. And Neo's just going to take point, rush right through. And they could potentially get the bomb plant here. Those smokes are still up. Neo needs to sit that plant, but he's not going to get it. Kerrigan is there to deny it. And Dupree just goes leaping in and annihilates 3 players. Pasha. Where is Pasha? On a mission, but Sipnix isn't having any of that.
Confidence play there, no doubt about it. When they knew they were up against pistols, you got leaping into sandwich like that. Just
look at this, man.
And,
no fear.
Both flashed up as well, so they had no idea what was happening. Just landed straight square between them. But, we were talking about Cadian stepping up before. He's obviously behind on the frags, but he already did his work, I think, on Cash. He's like, that's it, I'm spent. I mean, you guys need to pull something out. And TSM are doing just that. Now 5 rounds in a row on the CT side, getting themselves right back in this game. Virtus.Pro with the AKs. Now, this is a round they could really do with winning to stop TSM building up some pretty heavy bang.
Yeah, that's the main concern at this point. It was the same in the first half where TSM needed to win some key rounds to intercept Virtus.Pro's meteoric rise on the money. But there you go, Dupree and Kerrigan, both entry frags. I mean, this is just huge for TSM. This is such a massive advantage now for them to play with, and it's so important for them as well. They are in the lead right now because they've got the bank, and now only 2 rounds separate them. They're on the CT side. This is now TSM's map to lose.
Man, this is almost certainly an 11-10. Here we go, going to come around. Carrigan gets himself a second. Dupree with a second. Dupree with a third. And it was a clean A-site defense there for TSM. 11-10 as they get themselves the 6th round on the board. And they keep on going.
Yeah, they're just going to keep on trucking right now. Good reads from TSM, but also more importantly, really, I mean, you can have all the reads in the world, but if you aren't hitting the shots, it's going to be a problem. But clearly, the heavy hitters on this team, the two players I think that we focused on the most, right? Because Device isn't here, so it had to be Cajun, it had to be Dupree. Well, on this map right now, both of those players have woken up. Dupree in particular, he's really putting that rifle to work.
Bialy trying to push in early, but that grenade already finding its target. Neo getting flamed out as well. So that B attack has been stopped dead in its tracks. Mid-control has been gained by Virtus.Pro. Cajun B is going to peek around on short here. He may actually catch them as they work their way up there, but he comes around, gets one, doesn't get the second. Pasha gets taken down, but Carrigan already has the information. His eyes are trained on connector.
And there's already the rotation coming out here. Cadian is actually going to be in position to help either stop a push from B apartments or hold off on short. He's also making sure that nobody can counter boost through. So right now, Virtus.Pro really pacing themselves, actually, making TSM doubt themselves. But then, at the same time, you have Dupree pushing through A apartments all the way back into T-spawn. If he gets eyes on pit, this is so much information for TSM to act on. They could rotate Cadian hard onto that B side, just have 2 guys holding solid. Instead, it's Zipnix who gets caught out somehow. This could be the turning moment. There's a man advantage now for VP going onto this site.
Cadian's got a lot to do here. He's going to get smoked off from short, and that's 3 members of VP already making their way through. Bialy comes through apartments. He's going to get a glimpse of one. Does manage to get the gun down. Pasha comes around the side. He's trying to delay it, trying to buy time. He gets Pasha down. That's a 2, but he gets flanked by Neo. Manages to take him down, but the delay is enough. The bomb plant still not coming in. He buys the time for Carrigan to come straight back in there, and now Bialy all on his own. Tries to get that plant in, but they're just going to flank him from both angles. Doesn't even get the plant down, and Dupree comes in. It was all on Cadian there, and he did what was needed.
Yeah, all hail Cadian there. At that point, he did everything they could have asked of him. He even went past that. 1 for 1 would have been acceptable almost, but he gets 2. He brings his team back into it, buys the time by stopping that plant from going down. You can see Pasha just trying to dart around the corner, but Cadian hits the timing perfectly. He doesn't overextend either. He just plays that perfectly. Really well done by Cadian. But Virtus.Pro now, they're the ones who really have got their backs to the wall. They managed to force up here, but look at how few nades they have. A single smoke to work with. This could be just a blender moment. They could be running right into it because you already have Dupree who's going to be on balcony. If he holds A apartments versus Snacks, this is going to get nasty.
Cadian once again, but this time he's cut down. Dupree, though, in dark. They haven't checked it. Nobody's checking it. Neo's backing up into it. Still nobody's checked it. Finally, they spin around, but they've lost too many members. It's just Taz and Pasha alive, but the rest of TSM already in a perfect defensive position. Carrigan lands the shot. Taz goes down, and TSM finally take the lead, 12-11.
Yeah, perfect play there by Carrigan as well. He had Cajun B watching his back. All he has to do is hold that line at that point. They know exactly he's got that line. They cannot cross it. And knowing that Cajun is there to make sure that nobody can drop on his head, really nicely done by TSM. They've got the control now. And VP, you can tell the struggle right now. They go for a buy that's only to even out their money.
Looking at TSM, they've got everything they need. They've got money for days as well. They could rebuy a couple of times. And like the Observer just pointed out, it is YNK doing the observing here once again for us, as he did in Katowice. Absolutely magnificent CT side from TSM. Not a single round dropped, despite a really shaky T side. Virtus.Pro yet to get a foot on the board, as this time they try for a 4-man stack through Palace.
Yeah, and they're just going to go YOLOing out. Cadian, however, this time he's getting fed. A triple kill for him. Really nicely done, and nothing achieved there for Virtus.Pro. But good. I mean, Cadian, he was lagging a little bit behind as far as the prize, right?
That's exactly what you want.
He's in the right place at the right time, gets 3. 2 in the round before.
Cracking them as they drop.
That was really nicely done. I mean, VP, you saw the flash, basically. It's just a flash, but that Cadian is basically in like the hard counter position. They need to kill him instantly, but the fact that they were staggered coming out of that smoke, it just means that Cadian, that should be an impossible situation for him to mess up. So, just solid CT play, a good attempt on VP's side, but now this is it. VP, it's now or never. If they have to force up in the next round, this is it right here. This round, the 25th.
Well, they know that Virtus.Pro are in and around the underpass. I think it was Carrigan that heard Snacks come around, and he's not exactly being quiet about it. Carrigan catches a flick of someone bouncing around, knows there's going to be one. Snacks' head's taken clean off, and a flick there from Carrigan. Dupree quickly gets himself one as well, but that's going to get cut down. And Virtus.Pro now in a 3-on-3, making their way to A side.
This is very awkward as well. Cajun, he hears steps all around him, but he gets that first kill. He gets the second as well. He stops that plant from happening and even falls back. Sets it up for Sipnix to come in through connector.
Just switched to an unorthodox position. And the thing for Virtus.Pro is they're not checking the angles. When they go onto the site, they are effectively, I don't know whether rushing themselves when they get onto the sites. I'm not too sure exactly how it's working out for them. You'd have to ask them themselves. It's 11-14. TSM still yet to drop a single round on the CT side. Absolute blistering half from them right now.
Just outright dominance.
And this is it. Virtus.Pro, they have to pick this round up, or they're looking at match point for TSM.
But this is the TSM of old. This is just where they just look indomitable on the CT side. And right now, I mean, it really is looking like that. They get 4 rounds on their T side, but then CT side, they just shut everything down. VP right now, it's the real struggle, and they've got the AKs. This is it, 26th round. They have to go for it. I mean, basically, something has to happen, but Carrigan holding that angle is going to miss the shot, actually, and it's a bit of a missed opportunity there for him to be able to lock it down and pretty much give his team a huge lead going into the rest of this round. Just looking at the rounds that have been played, TSM have not dropped below 2 men left the whole time. It's always been 3-4 people. They've had 2 rounds once where they've been down to 2 people. Other than that, not a single one-on-one situation, not even close to losing out a round for TSM. So they really have put in a magnificent CT side. And they're going for it again, VP. They're going to go for the balcony rush. But there we go. Smokes, flashes, everything going out. Taz taking point. Going to feed himself in there, and he gets the headshot onto Dupree. Follow-up kill goes Neo's way. Cajun B lurking in T-Pit, though. He's going to stop that man from rotating in, but it's still a man advantage situation here, and Snacks is actually going to go hunt Cajun down. Cajun getting nothing done past that point. This could be the round for Virtus.Pro, and absolutely they need it. TSM looking at match point, but not going to get it. It's Zipnix, the last man standing.
Well, he's just going to back away. There's no reason why he shouldn't go for it. It's not going to work out. And that was a very good A site, finally, from Virtus.Pro. Their first round on the T side.
Yeah, and it's fitting that it's Taz as well who decides to step in and be like, okay, that's enough shenanigans. It's enough messing around. I'm going to go ahead and open this side up wide.
Well, what did we say at the start of this game? If Snacks performs, Virtus.Pro win. Snacks is bottom fragging on 8 frags right now, 27 rounds in.
Yeah, it was Pasha who took control, right? But then Pasha's now started to fade a little bit, and it's getting very difficult. Kerrigan, he could get pinned down there, but they aren't able to get the hard punish. He changes up his position, and now that's a very difficult situation to crack, especially when all eyes are on Kerrigan. Cajun like, thanks, I'll go ahead and take a free frag. No problem at all.
They've got the bomb loose. That's going to be another one down. Cadian picks that one up. That's going to be Taz pushing in. He does manage to get Cadian down, but Dupree, I don't think he's been checked yet. Taz still on Tetris, gets flashed out. Dupree doesn't step out to check. He's just holding his position, keeping himself secret in there. Still, Virtus.Pro. Now they got 3 members there, but TSM completely rotated. They're going to cover this one off.
Oh yeah, they're looking to just shut this down. They've even got a man making sure that if they, I mean, they should rotate the second man over from B site. There's still a guy all the way over there, but they've got 3 on A right now. And Dupree, not sure if you heard the steps on balcony, but Taz is going to take Sipnix's head off. Dupree gets the drop onto Pasha. Now Taz has this imaginary line in his head. He says, I can't cross this unless I can remove Dupree from the equation. 35 seconds left. Only 30 seconds. They have to make this work here, VP, but it's just going to take incredible shots because they have no nades to work with.
It takes 25 seconds to rotate from where they are to get to B site. Oh, and that's not what they're going to go for because Dupree cuts him down. He's only on 2 health though. Taz should be able to cover it, but like you said, took an imaginary line. Carrigan with the AWP, completely covering him off. Cajun B down. Dupree just on 2 health. Taz has got a peek around this corner, but he's been tagged. I didn't see whether it was Dupree or Carrigan. Either way, they have him locked out. Dupree through the wall, and will manage to take him down. Now it's match point for TSM. Virtus.Pro on a knife's edge there. I thought Taz might actually be able to do it for just a moment.
I did too. I thought everybody was so low. A single bullet, he gets it. You know, he gets it. But again, Kerrigan was still like the fail-safe there. He had that AWP holding that long line across the site. So even if Dupree is gone, Kerrigan is there, and he has that one shot. But he like that's not a shot that you miss.
But look, it's an eco almost from Virtus.Pro. Buy what you can, do what you can, keep us in the game, and they're going to have to pull off something magnificent here. B is where they've had somewhat success, but A is the only plant they've actually got down so far. And look at Zipnix, you can see incendiary grenade in hand, and this is going to stop the attack square in its path in the apartments.
And that's in Cajun actually picking on Pasha, who's top mid as well. So now VP have lost their flank man. It's going to come down to Zipnix holding solid here. They run past Cajun already, setting up that crossfire with Sip. The Molotov slowing things down further. Virtus.Pro are just going to go barreling out of this window onto the site. Snacks taking the fight as best he can, but Zipnix holds, and he's going to be able to lock up another frag. This is now down to Taz, who's got the AK, and he gets the headshot on Cajun, but he's 1v4 right now. He doesn't even have the bomb. He has to drop in. He has to take this fight, but they're going to pick him apart, force him out into the open, and Kerrigan will close this best of 3. 16-12 victory for TSM.
Boy, did they have to work for it, no doubt about it. But TSM come out victors over Virtus.Pro. Certainly something I don't think anyone would have figured, especially as soon as they saw that tweet last night from Device saying, I cannot make it to ESL Pro. I'm pretty sure there was a lot of bets on CSGO going that way, but Virtus.Pro are taken down in a pretty epic battle. I think it's safe to say that's a match that definitely went back and forward. And after Virtus.Pro's amazing CT side, we were not expecting TSM to come back so strongly, but once they won that pistol on CT, they did not look back.
No, it's just a fitting victory. I mean, of course, it's a battle between these two teams, as we've seen, you know, after best of three throughout the past 2 weeks. Once again, they deliver here. And this is developing into a real rivalry, actually, between these two teams. It's so close, down to the wire, every single time. They're so dead even. It's such a pleasure to watch. I mean, that was one of the longer best of 3s that we've ever had, I think, you know, just in the space of time it took, but well worth it.
Well, sadly, I hate to say something, but whenever you cast with me, you have long games, like be it whatever pause.
I know now.
I am a curse.
Okay.
I am a curse no matter what game I cast. But TSM do go through. They're going to be in the winner's bracket. That will be played out later. But of course, Virtus.Pro will fall down to elimination. We're going to be seeing them tomorrow morning, I believe it is. For now, though, we're going to go over to Sean Charles, who's on stage with TSM.
Thank you so much, guys. Dupree, I mean, words escape me. That was crazy to watch. What was that like to be in?
crazy as always. We always end up playing 16-14 against Virtus.Pro. I think we at Copenhagen we were like 16-14 4 times, and they always came out on top. So it's really, really great to actually close out the game a little earlier than usual. So.
Now, I mean, without putting anybody on the line here, there were some guys going into this on the analyst desk talking, saying, "Hey, you guys would be lucky to maybe pick up a map here." What was it like playing, knowing that was on the line, or that was the opinion, so to speak?
Well, we had some troubles, especially because like Device, he has like a certain, like we usually play around him and in some way, like when he plays up, and he has smokes and flashes in certain tactics we have, but we didn't have this time, so we just had to improvise, and we lost some rounds because we're used to that. The guy is usually flash, but he wasn't this time because he was just like, the flash never came because Kaden doesn't know it, and it's not his fault, of course. So we just knew that we have to be a little random, take chances and push and just play good individually, and that's just what people did on the CT side. So.
And I mean, the team really did play well, and Kaden obviously, did a great job. What do you take away from that in preparation for the rest of the weekend coming up?
Oh well, I don't know, man. We told Kaden what he had to do. We told him the specific smokes and just do as you feel like. Like we know that you're not Device, and well, not in a bad way, of course. That sounded really rude, but not in a bad way, of course. But like, just play your game and do what you feel is confident. Just play confidence, and then we just take it from there.
Well, you guys played absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much. We're going to go over and see our good friend, Machine, because I'm sure he's got lots to talk about after that was epic game. Thank you again.
Thanks very much, Sean. Welcome back to the desk. It's time now just to break down what just happened, and we have got a lot of explaining to do and a lot of apologies to make to some Danes as we basically pinned them down as a 2-0 loss, seeing VP pick that one up, and that's completely blown out of the water. It could have happened in 2. Let's not forget that close cash game, and as Similar and D-Man did say, that was it's always going to be a long one when those two are ever involved. You can see the stats there, and it's safe to say that new man, that Cadian presence, wasn't a poor one, as he managed to pick up a handsome handful of kills and some important ones as well. So starting with you, Halvor, why don't you just walk me through what just happened and how are we seeing TSM advance in the upper bracket of this bracket?
CT sides.
Right.
Strong CT sides. On that last map, VP pick up 1 T-round the entire time. And we talked about it prior to the game, even though we thought VP would close it out. It's the same thing that happened over and over again. TSM give up mid-control. They're completely happy with just playing reactively on their CT side. And they do it to a completely different level from any other team, even without Device there. So that's just massively impressive to see them make it happen each and every time, because normally you'd want to get information, actually have set up for the best possible defense whenever you're expecting a push, but they easily defended everything VP threw at them, and eventually VP kind of got stuck with the one execute they really had, which was the one towards A, which they've done so many times, and TSM really figured out how to stop that properly. So just an extremely solid job from TSM.
Jonathan?
Yeah, I'm just impressed with how they actually went into the game and handled the situation with having a stand-in. I'm really impressed. They actually were confident enough to give Cadian room to work the way he wants to work certain angles or certain positions. So I'm really impressed by how they handled the situation, being calm and giving him space to actually work his.
Yeah. So do you think it was basically the right choice from TSM to basically, instead of forcing him into Device's role, more form their plan around just unleash KD and let him do what he can, and then play around him in that respect? That was the better approach?
Well, I think so, yes. I think it's hard. I mean, Device has his typical play style, and it's not something you can copy. You cannot copy his intuition and play style and how he would work certain positions. So I think it's just okay, play your game. We'll see what happens and work it from there.
Yeah, and. Well, you kind of just stole my words out of my mouth. So
I was gonna actually bring up the fact that there's a lot less pressure, and that's a really big factor to talk about. Is how relaxed that TSM the pressure was completely taken off their shoulders, because they could just turn up and they were like, let's see how we do. We saw it in the pre-match interview. Dupree was just sitting there. He was just like, yeah, well, we're just going to give it our best. And there was none of that pressure, none of that TSM pressure. We've got a full lineup. We need to really. We've lost it. We've won this before. Instead, it was just let's see how it works out. And that really must have affected their play style.
Yeah, I mean, you as a player, if you play with a full lineup, you put so much pressure on yourself. It's not only the community that, expect you to do this good or, all that. It's just they kind of released the pressure from themselves and their own expectations. They were like, we're here to have fun, you know, we'll do the best out of every situation and, you know, play our hearts out, but we're not gonna expect to win a tournament when we don't have a full lineup. So I think it's the right approach to coming into a tournament with a stand-in.
Yeah, and I actually think this might help them in future scenarios when they get Device back, because they know that this actually worked out really well for us when we played with, you know, low shoulders and no pressure. But obviously it's hard to do because some people are going to put the pressure that, well, you did it with a stand-in, so now you surely should be able to do it with a full lineup as well. So that could be a thing, but hopefully TSM takes lessons from this and notice that we can do it as long as we believe in ourselves. As cliche as that sounds, but
It does sound. It sounds very Disney. It does.
it's
Believe
very
in
Disney,
yourself.
Yeah, exactly. But it worked out for them, so.
It really did. And so that does conclude what was an incredible performance from TSM. A long one, we admit, and thanks for sticking with us. If you have enjoyed it, we've got more CSGO action to come. The upper bracket game will be played later on, but first we've got Titan up against 3D Max, which will be taking place on that main stage, as well as in front of us we have Envious and Copenhagen Wolves going head-to-head, and that's on the B stream. So do get over to twitch.tv/ESL_CSGOB, and hopefully you can catch the action there while we're at our break. Until then, though, we'll see you soon.